Should I be?
Hey, welcome to Go Ask Sawyer. This is Jamie, your host. Happy Sunday. Episode or season 5 of Go Ask Sawyer is all about how other people heal through their own events, their own traumas, because you have heard enough about me talking about all the stuff I have been through. We have heard from Toya from Universal Teas. We have heard from Beth. We have heard from Jamie. And today we are going to hear from Vilar. Or should I say Justin? How should I say your name?
Call me Pedro. No. I don't care. You can call me dude. I'm very open to whatever. Call me Justin for now.
Okay. Well, we'll stick with Justin. We're gonna stick with Justin.
Caesar. Shit, people like
Caesar. I don't know that. I know
that's college. I know that's college shit.
Okay.
But...
Okay. So I'm gonna say Justin, which is also weird for me to say.
Yeah.
This is a past teacher friend.
Brad.
Oh, way back in the trenches, trench days. But we got out. Well, he got out. I just moved to higher grade levels high school.
Point being, neither one of us are at our old school, so
we could talk about the trauma of working in middle school. That could definitely like how you would go home and like your brain would just bang around in your head for a while, and you'd wonder like because you taught elementary.
Yeah.
I taught middle school, and it's just, anyway, all right. So I thought I'd bring you on to talk about whatever you feel like talking about. I mean, I could probably list a million things, but has there been anything in your life that you've gone through that you've had to kind of sit with to either release that has changed you as a person, that has made you better, or you've just had to kind of grapple with?
Yeah, couple things. I mean, there's lots of different points in my life, but I think two of the big ones were obviously being adopted from a different country. So for people listening, I was adopted.
I don't think anyone knows you.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I was adopted as a baby from Tijuana, Mexico, to two white lesbian parents and brought back to Wisconsin and grew up in a very conservative, rural white area. So there was
that's quite the bubble.
Oh shit. There was a lot of shit with that. That's a big thing for me. And then the passing of my grandparents was another really big two kind of moments. They were kind of close together in a way, but losing both of them was something I really had to work through.
Why was that such a big thing for you, losing grandparents, though it's particular?
Really big because my parents were always working. So as a kid, like my grandparents would, before school, like take us for like daycare or whatever. And then, when we went to school, they'd be there to pick us up or sometimes help drop us off, take me to soccer practices and stuff. So they were kind of like
your second parents. Yeah.
The other thing with that is they lost their very first son as a child or as a little boy. I can't remember what it exactly was, but I think because I was the only boy in our family, I think we had a little more of a connection because they lost Robin, my uncle, as a kid. And then I came along. So I think they were kind of latched onto me a little more. And then
you're like that son that they lost and now they can kind of bring you up.
And then, obviously, all of that, but then always being there too with everything. I think we had a very special connection. So losing them was very hard for me, especially my grandma. She was the one that kind of got me into like politics, worldviews, and, trying to be more global than just Wisconsin. Like there's so much going on in not just the United States, but around the world. So we would always just talk about stuff like that. I feel like I've always kind of been looking for something after the past because I love.
How long ago was that?
Oh, Nana, my grandma passed away when I was 21, and then my grandpa passed away a couple years later.
Okay.
It was in a very dark place with that, college, being away from home, nobody really there to tell you any more what to do or like how to do things. So I kind of got into things that I definitely should not have.
So you took the healing path of that we shouldn't go down.
Oh shit!
Should not go down.
There are definitely some stories and definitely some memories that I don't remember because of the
Yeah.
things.
Because I was gonna say, how did you? Okay, so you used other things to heal,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe that didn't work out the
Mm-hmm.
best.
Mm-hmm.
Have you come to a place where you've been able to like let go and heal in a more healthy way, or is that still
Oh,
an
absolutely.
open wound anyway?
I think it's always going to be an open wound. I feel like it was kind of, I mean, not that it will ever compare, but, in a way, losing parents in a weird kind of way.
Yeah.
Since that, I went down, for me, a dark path that, took me to places. But after a while, I think after losing my grandpa, then took me like a little while to kind of get back. But now I would definitely say I'm in much healthier spot than I have been and keep going.
What do you? So if there's people out there listening that have lost grandparents or whatever, and they would maybe like to use more of a numbing way, what are some things you could give them? Like, hey, this is a way I've found to heal that's healthier. This is a way that I've
Yeah.
done it that might be better.
So a big thing for me in healing was when we had to like sell their house and like clear out all of their stuff, going through like some of those pictures and stuff and like seeing the things and the times that made me happy as a kid and then trying to get back to those things. So
Okay.
like a big thing for me always has been soccer, or not just soccer, but sports. So for a while there, kind of lost my way with that, but then, got back to playing and even, helping coach and stuff. Or, I've always been an animal lover. So getting a dog was a really big thing that also helped. But I think at that time I was looking at, clearing all this stuff out and like, oh, those were really good times. Like those were times that felt, I felt really happy, at peace. Like I want to get back to that now. So
Almost
now
like embracing your childhood memories, not like
Exactly.
using it as pain, but like, let me sit with this. Let me celebrate the times that we had together.
And then I want that kind of feeling. Like, not that I'll ever get that exact feeling back, but like those were times or things that made me really happy as a kid. So I want to do what I can to get back to that good, happy feeling rather than feeling depressed and, down and dark and whatever.
Sad.
So yeah, let's go towards the light.
And darkness can really pull you in fast.
Yeah.
And especially if you don't have a good community, and not that you have to have a huge community, but if you don't have maybe a touchstone person or someone that you can pull you out. Like if you're just kind of dealing with stuff yourself.
Yeah.
I know so many people that lose people in their lives and they don't reach out because it's like, I'll handle it. I got it. It's fine. And then before you know it, they're in a dark place or they feel isolated and they feel alone instead of reaching out to say like, hey, I really need someone or I need whatever.
I think another big thing for me that kind of helped me was in college. So I kind of just touched on like I grew up in a very conservative, all white area that, was definitely not friendly towards me or my family in certain ways. But when I went off to college, I met lots of different people from, all different backgrounds and everything. So I think having those friends now that had different life experiences too from what I was used to also really helped me move forward too as well. That was a really good, really healthy thing for me was to get away from the white conservative.
It's like being at the center of attention, like everyone is white. Oh,
I'm
and then you go
not. Clearly
not. And then you go off to college and it's like, wait a minute. Oh my gosh, they're so diverse and backgrounds and genders and
blend in a little bit.
Yes, and like
stick out. Yeah. So that was really good. And again, a lot of my friends, that's kind of where that nickname Caesar kind of came in.
In high school?
No, college.
Oh, college.
Because I had some friends and they were like, oh, Justin, like doesn't really fit with like who you are, how you look and all this.
I didn't feel very weird calling you Justin.
Oh no, I love that nickname, but they gave me that nickname kind of, just in the dorms and everything, and it kind of took off. But I think, that kind of gave me a little more sturdiness and like, embracing the new diversity with everything rather than holding on to like I want to say like white Justin name, but like it's just
like you created a new identity for yourself. You were actually able to like embrace all you were with this new name in a weird way.
And I felt like more, I don't know, I felt more embraced by multiple different types of communities with that name, like, than, I don't know, Justin. I just feel like Justin for me, not knocking anybody.
No,
Justin, right?
great. Now it's going to be another Karen.
No, but to me that was just like old, like it's identity. Whereas like it was just rooted in like, you know, this conservative white rural area.
Did it feel a little bit more superficial, or like I have to act this way or do this? Like again, where you grew up, like you're always thinking twice. I am a white woman, so have not been there, but like just being Justin felt like no one actually knows me. Yeah,
I think I feel like I kind of had to assimilate or fit in rather than like stand out. And I think once, you know, I was moved to college and, you know, given all this, I could kind of more stand out on my own and do my own things rather than trying to have to like fit in with everything. Like, because when I was growing up where I was raised, like I was always told like soccer is, you know, for gay people or whatever. Like,
really? I didn't know that was the thing.
They would call,
even though I do like soccer.
They would call,
but I didn't know that one.
For players like field fairies.
Really?
Field F words, you know, like it wasn't a manly sport.
Okay.
Which I always found.
Which I see it, that's, there's so much endurance. You never stop running.
Yeah, but like I just, you know, football was the thing out there. It was like, you know, if you weren't playing football, you weren't like a real man. And to me, it was like, well, I love soccer because I'm fucking good at it.
Yeah.
So
you've told me.
Yeah, well, that's a whole other thing. But yeah. So like once I was able to kind of embrace who I was, you know, soccer. Yeah, you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Like I was always told, you know, you can't do soccer. You're not like, that's not going to be cool, or, you know, a man, you got to play football. And then getting to college is like, oh, dude,
everyone plays soccer.
Yeah, everybody likes
it. And it's actually really cool.
Yeah.
And really fun.
Yeah. And
not gay.
Yeah. Which
can be. I'm not going to judge anyone.
No, but that was just such a thing at, you know, where I grew up was like just very anti-gay, anti, you know, minority, anti-everything. So it was like I always go back to me for how I grew up. Like my home was my safe space. Like inside my house where I grew up was the safe space. As soon as I stepped out, everything in the world was unsafe. Like it was just,
your guard was always up.
Always up.
So like, did you constantly feel like when you came home, did you almost like breathe a sigh of relief? Like I can finally like let down.
Yeah. Because I would always get followed home by police officers. Like the amount of times I got followed home from wherever I was going, plenty of times, and they would drive past, you know, and I was, you know, 16, 17.
Yeah.
Like one time I got pulled over, just going up to the gas station, you know, a block, and nothing but officer came over. He had his gun on it, or his hand on his gun. Like he was like looking around with the flashlight, like, what are you doing? Where are you going? Blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, I live like right over there. I'm literally just driving to the gas station to get some snacks. Like,
like I speeding.
I wasn't even speeding. He just pulled me over because, you know, DWB, driving all black or brown, whatever. But it was stuff like that, you know, everything outside of my household, I always felt like was never really safe. But when I was in my household, there was always, you know, love and just, you know, calm and peace. And that was a big thing.
That's huge.
Yeah.
That's because I feel like sometimes people don't always have that. So I'm happy for in the bubble that you lived, that you had a safe space there. When you went off to college, did that become not your safe space, not your home, but like you were able to let your guard down a little bit more in college?
Yes. Like I had made lots of friends of all, you know, different backgrounds, you know, whether, you know, they were Black or brown or from, you know, different countries, didn't always, you know, maybe speak English as a first language, or maybe their sexual identity was different. There was just so much. So I felt more able to go out and like, it was just easier to connect with people. I felt like I didn't have to like put a front on, put a mask on to like act a certain way. I could just be who I was because I could find commonalities with whoever about whatever. Like I'm a very people person.
You seem that way.
Thank you. So like I love meeting new people, but yeah, I always go back to like when I was a kid, it was always kind of hard to make friends because, there was just so much. And I think people didn't realize like how much like the conservative or whatever mindset like kind of played into like outcasting people. Like I could have been, really good friends with another soccer player on the team, but because of, they don't like gay people, they're not really going to want to hang out with me because of my parents or whatever. But, we could have been like, best friends, perfect match, like, all this and that. But because of one thing or something, and it might not even have been that, it could have been other things. But
well, I just feel like if you are part of the, and I'm going to say this in quotes, society, like if you're oh my gosh, I can't talk. If you are in a white conservative bubble, you don't see, I feel like when I'm looking at people, like you don't see how you affect anyone that does not look like you.
Yeah.
It's when you're in the majority, it's only minority. And I've talked to many, many friends about this, and some say like, that's not even that big of a deal. I'm making too big of a deal about it. I'm like, but I don't think I am. And again, I am a white woman. So like, I understand where I sit, but I also see a lot of things, and people just don't even realize the way they're, because it's so ingrained. What do they say? That racism is just so ingrained in how we live that people don't even realize what they're doing, especially in those bubble towns, which is, I even get scared going in those places. Like if I had a girlfriend would I be scared to hold her hand in those places, or would I just be like, fuck you, I don't really care anymore?
I mean, there were plenty of times like I know.
And that was how many years ago you were in high school?
What I graduated?
I don't know.
2011.
I mean, I just feel like every 10 years, things are getting a little bit easier and harder at the same time. So, I mean, back in the 90s when I was in high school, divorce was a big deal. Like people, if your parents were divorced, it was like, oh man. And now it's like, you have two moms, you have two dads, you have interracial marriages. Like now there's so much more, and yet still the society of whatever is, this is right, this is wrong. But that's what America is built on.
Well, I was going to say that it's like that's just America. I feel like, but yeah, I mean, I can think of a time where, one of our really close family friends who, grew up doing a lot with. I just remember him running down the halls when I was in like 7th or 8th grade and yelling like, "Vote no on gay marriage, like down with gay marriage." And I was like, "Wait, dude, hold on. My parents literally like pick you up after school and stuff. Like our families are very close. You saying that,
like what are you doing?"
Yeah, like again, I think it goes back to like your point of like he didn't see how that would affect other people because he's in his own little bubble.
Yeah.
Which honestly, I think now looking at it, it's very interesting because I still think, even today, there's so many people in their own.
Oh my gosh, there's some people in their own bubbles.
It's like, what the fuck? It's 25. We gotta.
I feel like banging my head against the wall sometimes talking to people. Like, you still think that way? Like, you still feel that way? You still think that way? Like, what the actual fuck? Like, it just boggles my mind because then it feels like people aren't educating themselves at all.
Yeah.
So then, like, the ignorance is just being passed down instead of like, wait, let me look into this. Let me see where my biases are. Let me see how I'm acting in the world, instead of like, oh well, we can go into the politics side of things, but that'll be for a different season.
Yeah.
But okay, I mean that's a lot to carry with you.
I feel like that kind of would just kind of interject in there for a sec, but I feel like that was a real big reason why I think my grandma's death was kind of hard for me, just because, she always kind of raised me in a way to be like, the world is bigger than just Wisconsin and America in general. Like there's, so many things happening all around. Like, you can't be just in this little bubble. You gotta learn about all of.
There's so many more people out there. There's so many more cultures out there. There's so many more religions out there. It's not just.
I think America is very America, but there's so much.
And it's so beautiful. It is so beautiful. Okay, so loss of your grandparents. growing up in a white conservative bubble, finally going to college, seeing some different, making new friends, realizing that like, oh my gosh, you have this whole amazing personality, and taking the mask off. So you're also adopted.
Yep.
Talk to me about that. When did you find out? Like we're like that's
very
like
early on when I realized I was
like I feel like I don't look like my mom.
Yeah.
Maybe I was in the set too long. But
something.
Like how did they tell you? Did it bother you right away? Did it bother you at all? Were you like,
it's never really bothered me.
Maybe bothers the wrong word.
Yeah. I never really had an issue with it. So like I know the story in the background of my mom, my birth mom. She was 15, out on kind of the streets of Tijuana alone, and back in Tijuana, rough area.
Back on,
yeah. Still is.
I was gonna say, is it still? Yeah.
Not as, there's definitely other parts, but every city's got its issues. But I always, I think, knew in the back of my mind I was different just because of where I was growing up. There was like nobody else that was black, brown, or any other color.
Yeah.
It was just pretty much blonde, blue-eyed,
Mhm.
white. But so it never really affected me. I think a big thing, though, that did later was meeting my birth mom for the first time.
How old were you?
21. It's actually a really weird story, kind of, because my grandma passed away. And then, like I said, I was kind of going on a dark path or whatever, and getting into things I definitely should have. So I took a bunch of mushrooms one night. Sorry, I'm just putting this out there.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. They grow on the ground.
Yeah. So that's what we can go a whole other way with all. Took some mushrooms and was, out with my new friends, and they were kind of trying to help me, like, not get over it, but like, grandma loved you, it had like been like 2 or 3 days after she had passed. So it was real fresh. So I was trying to kind of like numb everything, with lots of different things, but ended up taking some mushrooms. And then I just remember looking up at the sky at one point during, like, it was a full moon. I just remember like being like, having all these thoughts rumbling around in my head. And one of the thoughts was like, I wonder how my mom's doing. And like, not just talking about like my adopted parents, because, I could call them up.
Yeah.
How are you guys doing?
Yeah.
But like my birth mom. And then it was really weird because like a week or two later, I got a phone call from my adopted mom. And she was like, hey, I just got off the phone call with the like immigration lawyer. Your birth mom was wondering if you'd like to meet her. And it was like really weird how that all kind of synced up. Like at the same time. Yeah. And then it was just like boom. So I was like, yeah, absolutely. So, took the kind of last bit of cash I had, got a plane ticket. They came up from Chiapas, which is southern Mexico, to Tijuana. So we met in Tijuana. We actually met in the same hotel that I was adopted in.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And it was really weird because both sides of my family were there. My parents that I was adopted by, my mom, were there with my sister, who's also adopted from Tijuana, because I have a sister, Gina. And then my birth family was also there as well. So I knocked on the door, I walked in, and I just walked in, and then my mom got up off the bed. She came over, she hugged me, she was crying. And then the next thing I know, everybody in the room is just standing around me, hugging me, crying. And I was just standing there like, what the fuck is going on right now? Like, this is really crazy.
Yes. I can feel surreal. Like,
it was super, super crazy. But then the next thing, literally the next like 3 minutes later, my mom was talking to me in Spanish, and I know a little Spanish.
You left some Spanish on my voicemail today.
Yeah,
and I was like,
did.
I don't know. I don't know. I stopped
I can speak a little Spanish, and just from my background, like more like ordering food or, like with the restaurant stuff, she got real mad at me. She's like, you don't know Spanish, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I'm sorry. So it was really funny, like how that kind of, just that mother, like, I haven't seen you in 21 years, but I'm still, But it was good. I found out that I've got a stepdad, Armando, who was great. My birth mom's name was Julia, or is Julia. We still connect every now and
I
then
was just
over
gonna ask, are you guys still
Yeah,
connected or?
so she doesn't have Facebook, but my half brother Armandito has a Facebook. So every now and then, we'll message each other,
That's
like,
cool.
like, how you doing?
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. And then I have a half sister too, Eveline. We kind of keep updated. I'd love to go see them again because I think that was a really big thing for me. But I think, I think after that moment too, I think that was another thing that kind of helped me move away from like kind of the dark path that I was going
Yeah.
down. I wish my grandpa wanted to come, but he was older and, just with the journey
Yeah.
and flight, it was
A
going to be a
little bit
lot
too much.
for him. But I'm kind of glad he kind of got to see me. I wish my grandma
Yeah.
would have been able to like, see
my
that.
gosh, she would love that.
Yeah. But it was a really good experience. And definitely,
How was it having all the families there? Like, did it feel like a full circle moment? Did it feel like missing pieces were coming together?
yeah, I think that was so in my little mushroom trip, I was kind of going over like, yeah, peas are like holes that I kind of needed to fill within myself. And I
Yeah.
think that was something that was, so I think it was like a full circle moment, like having my birth mom, they had all met before
Yeah.
all three of my moms had met before, but like, seeing, I think, how I was raised and grew up. I think she was very happy for that because of where she had been when she had me. I can only imagine where I would be right now if I had not been adopted. It would not have been good.
I'm sure that was a sense of relief for her to see, like, oh my gosh, he has all these opportunities and he's amazing and plays soccer and
Yeah.
like just to hear about all your accomplishments.
Yeah, I think her big thing was hearing about how I had like graduated, like not just high school, but was on track to graduate college too, and like was education.
Yeah.
Which also, with my grandma, education was a really big thing. So I think, I think that was a really big full circle moment. Just, the education part, like just because of where she had been, like, okay, he's going to be able to take care of himself now. And, if he has kids or a family, he'll be able to help take care of them as well. So
I can only imagine how hard it is as a mom to decide, like, I have to give my kid up for adoption. But I guess the good part is finding out, like, they have this great life. Like, it wasn't a bad decision as much as you probably didn't want to make it in the first place.
Yeah. Again, I know she was very young, had really nobody to support or help her in that time. So yeah, I know she didn't eat a lot while I was in her belly. That was a big thing because I have some like health problems from that. That was one thing I did know is that when I was inside of her, I wasn't getting the nutrition.
Malnourished, right?
Yeah,
Okay,
that part. Because again, she was kind of more or less out in the streets and whatnot. So I think seeing me about as healthy as I could be was really good. I love food now. I got something
I
really
love
to it. Yeah, I will eat all of it.
Do you think a part of meeting your mom, like that, again, all of that, and you said it happened not too far after your grandma passed. Do you think that also helped you not say bye to your grandma, but like heal a part of you? Or do you think that was different?
Maybe a little bit. Maybe a little bit. I think, it's funny. I still think I have healing to do from my grandma, and stuff. But again, I think trying to get back to the memories of what made me very happy with them was a big thing for healing. My grandma would write, she was a big writer, so she would write down like all of, memories, and at one point she put them all in like a journal for all of her kids or like all of her grandkids, and like it's a big thick binder, and I still have not opened that because I haven't. All my cousins, my sister, they've all read theirs, and I'm like, you gotta read it, it's beautiful. And I just someday I will.
So you definitely still have parts of you that
absolutely.
Do you think it's like, a part of you is like, once I read this, then it's done? Or then she's gone? Or
I
like it's the final, I don't know.
I'm just, I guess for me, like I just think it's gonna break me again.
You don't want to.
Yeah, I just think it's gonna like just bring back all the things from when I was little that I really, because that was again my safe space. One of my safe spaces, like, you know, just running barefoot backyard, like there was not a care in the world and everything. And just, I don't know, I feel like reliving some of those memories is gonna be very emotional.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I know I need to do it. I just, I gotta will myself to do it. It's just gonna be, that's gonna be a big thing.
I just think I always think it's interesting to look at what emotion we're scared to feel. Like when you just said, I'm going to break again, you know, the childhood memories. When we look at what am I the most scared of feeling when I read this? Or how can I make myself feel safe?
So
yeah, go ahead.
I got an answer. For me, it's love.
Oh.
Because I think love is a very big thing for me because I don't want to say like going to adoption, you know, there's some abandonment issues there. So I've always never really truly felt, I guess in a way, because therapy and everything is just what we've gotten to. But like, but like that part of me doesn't feel worthy of love in some ways. So like reliving some of those like loving moments and everything is going to be really big and hard. But yeah, I think for me, going like being adopted and all of that, love is a very big thing. Like when I love very, you know, hard and you know, it's
I've witnessed a few.
Yes, and I'm sure you have. Shit. Then, you know, on the flip side, you know, when I don't feel loved or, you know, that's hard as well. So I need to work on that middle ground, that balance, because love is a very big thing for me.
Do you chase it? You have is it anxious attachment? Like I have anxious attachment. And I don't even know where it really came from because I mean, my parents got divorced when I was in high school, but I never felt abandoned.
Yeah.
But like just that feeling of if that other person isn't reciprocating love, I want to like chase them to show them that I'm worthy of it.
Yeah, I would say I definitely have some of that. I mean,
which gets me in trouble, and then all of a sudden, slap my face.
Tell me about getting in trouble.
That's a whole nother show. But like, it just, it's just. I mean, I like when you talk about it and realize like these are the things I struggle with, and then you watch yourself when you're in those moments, like, okay, and let me just repeat this one more time. Like, how can you heal through that and get through that? And like, I always ask myself, like, what do I need to be better at for me? So I stop chasing emotionally unavailable people or people who don't want to be with me. Like,
I had a hard time with that too. I've definitely chased people that I thought were interested, you know, and then they actually weren't. And then, things get messy and whatnot. But
well, they do. And you lose a part of yourself. Like in chasing, it's like you give up parts of yourself. You end up abandoning yourself, which is what you're most terrified with. Like, that's what I always look at too. Like, I don't want to be abandoned, yet I'll run away from myself in a heartbeat to go chase love. Which I'm like, what am I doing? Like, how do I stand up for me? Which is something I'm learning to do.
Yeah, I think we've kind of had other conversations about like attracting, not chasing. Too, as well. And, you know, I'm a big law of attraction kind of guy, or like energy, all of that. So yeah, I think something I've been working on lately is, you know, not chasing as, you know, or trying not to as much. It's a little bit of a challenge sometimes. But no, I think finding that reciprocated love.
And also finding that reciprocated love, but like being willing to stand up for yourself if it's not there, and being willing to walk away. And say like, I'm sorry, I can't do this. Definitely. I should have done that a few times. But hey, live and learn. But again, the more I'm able to even kind of do that, even in different parts of my life, I notice I feel more confidence in myself. And I'm not like trying to chase. Like, if this is supposed to be here, if this person or situation is supposed to be here, it will be. And I'm not going to chase it. I'm going to trust, have faith that it's going to do what it has to do. It's just constantly that like, oh, but what if I can just control it a little bit?
Yeah, I feel that.
But anything you have to control or anything that you have to like try to fit is usually not for you.
Yeah. I guess for me lately, I would say within the last year, I've just been really focused on just me, myself, and I, and whatever, comes in, if they want to, or it wants to stay.
Situations.
Great. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Great. But if not,
great.
Cool. I'm here. Like, you know where to find me. I'm not, you know where to find me.
Yeah. Downtown.
Yeah. That's hard. But yeah, I think, I've really been, recently on my journey, just trying to do me, worry about me, and can control what I can control, and whatever else, let it fall by the wayside, and what's meant to be will be there.
It will be.
Yeah.
That's a really hard understanding, but the more we're able to do it, like such great things come from it. Such great things come from it. Yeah. It's just a matter of loving yourself enough to be like, nope, I'm not going to run away from myself. I'm not going to abandon. I'm going to sit here. I'm going to be with myself and just allow the ease of alignment to bring in the people and situations that need to be here.
Yep, very much so. And, I guess looking kind of forward into the future now that I'm in much healthier, much better space with everything, like, I know we kind of talked, but like starting my new job and everything, and, moving and all of this and whatever, like I'm excited for what will come and where I can go or will go. What was that saying? There was a saying like, who I was is different from who I am, who is different from who I will be.
Oh, I like that.
And, I'm know who I was. I know now, like, have kind of figured out more of who I am. So I'm excited for who I can go and be and where I can go with that.
And also allowing like your past self to be just what it was and not to like identify who you are. Because like me 10 years ago is not the same. Like I'm still really cool and all, but like I feel like I just keep evolving for the better over and over. I've let go of things. I've forgiven myself for things. The more I'm able to do that, life just keeps getting better.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I feel like we get stuck in like, oh, but I was this way. And it's like, yeah, but you were. So just move forward. Like try something different. Oh, I was going to ask you something and now I forgot, but that's okay. Oh, do you think, because you have a new job now, do you think even like having this new job, like having a new environment, being around new people, is kind of like realigning you to like maybe new opportunities and like,
oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely. I think
like sometimes we get stuck in old places.
Absolutely. I think, because I had been at MCP or, school for 10, 11 years. And I think, I don't want to say built kind of like a life around that, but like I want to say it got to an unhealthy point. So
you just get so comfortable every day that you pushed.
And I think too, forcing myself now to be uncomfortable has aligned me with more people that I think will help push me into a better, thing. So again, I'm excited for where things will go and where I'll end up. Who knows? But yes, it'll be good.
I love that. Okay, so as we wrap up, I want you to think real quick for anyone listening that has dealt with maybe death of grandparents or parents or someone really close to them, or maybe are kind of looking back in their childhood and they were like, I realized I was wearing a mask the whole time and I didn't even realize it. What are a couple things they could do to start moving into a new self or healing or anything of that sort?
Yeah.
I'm thinking like one or two, because sometimes too many strategies is too much, like one or two things.
I think the two things that come to my mind right off the bat would be it's okay to be uncomfortable.
Oh, I like
because I think that's gonna, and I shouldn't say be uncomfortable, like be safe and uncomfortable, because obviously you don't want to be like
right. I don't want to be
but like being in a safe, uncomfortable place, I think will expose you to new challenges, new environments, new people that will push your, understanding or ways of thinking in a new way, which will, help you grow.
I definitely I would agree with that. Like
that. And then I think the other one that comes to mind is staying true to your inner child and getting back to the things. Because I think, with teaching, you look at, especially in elementary, you look at the things that the little K5s, K4s, first graders, second graders like get happy about or like, find enjoyable,
You could have like
entertaining.
Flag Day and they'd be so excited.
One of my favorite memories was like the garbage truck came to pick up, like the garbage
Yeah.
and like it dumped everything back and all the little kindergartners were out there like garbage truck, garbage truck. And it was like they literally come like two
Yeah.
times a week.
But
Like
they
you
will
see them
pick
and
them
it's
up.
like, yeah.
That's so great.
And I think, getting back to that kind of way of thinking of like, just in touch with your whatever makes you happy.
Just getting excited about all the things. Like,
Yeah.
just getting excited.
But yeah, but also too, like, if you're thinking like, in the moment, should I have that, maybe that extra piece of cake or something or whatever, like instead of rather just, let's go with it. Yeah,
just do it.
Yeah. You gotta just embrace that like inner child voice of like make that inner kid happy. And I think you'll see the brightness way more. It's just gonna, that little voice inside you.
Yeah.
That's that kid.
That's also telling that kid that I still see you. I'm still here for you. I'm still like, you're still number one for me. And that's kind of a way to build that trust so that you're not abandoning.
And again, I think going back, the last little thing, I think going back, again, when my grandparents died, we're cleaning, things out and seeing, the pictures of like me smiling as a kid and, like, just happy. Like I wanted to get back to that. So like, what can I do to make that inner kid just happy and better? And it's led me to a lot of really good things since that's happened. So
I'm sorry about the loss of your grandparents, but I'm happy that you were able to kind of like look at all those pictures and like embrace that and be like, I got to get back there.
Yeah. The other thing I will say was I think my grandparents would be very frustrated and upset with me if I wasn't trying to make myself happy.
Yes.
So I think they'd be like, what the hell are you doing?
Why are you wild? What's happening?
We did not raise you like this.
I'm gonna be so
yeah. And I just know when I would see them again, they would be like, what the fuck are you doing? Don't be happy. You're supposed to be happy. That's why we got you.
Stop it. That's why we got you. Oh my gosh, you're funny.
Yeah. Because, they would always tell me like a lot of parents, have their kids. We chose you. It's like, it's chosen.
Also, I really love that.
Yeah.
Some parents just get stuck with their kids.
Yeah.
Well, great. Here we go.
Fuck.
I guess we got this one.
Yeah. So
that's a cool outlook.
Yeah. I've been working on a lot lately. So
I love that.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you coming on and talking with you. I haven't seen you in a whole minute here. So I really it's kind of like our lunch talks, but we got
I know, actually,
20 minutes. We have
trying to shovel
20 minutes. We're like all the food in. Okay, we got to get the kitchen reset.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, all right, guys, I appreciate everyone listening. Tune in next week and find out who I'm going to have on. Stay cute, stay loud, and keep dancing even when everyone's watching. Peace.